What's up guys, today we're going to be talking about 5 bosses that are a little bit more unknown across RuneScape, seeing as they are not on the boss portal. You can't teleport directly there, you have to go and find them. There is some quest requirements for some of them as well, and they do have some unique rewards. So we're going to take a look at those, see what rewards you can get from them, and then see if there's any reason for you to go ahead and do them. Some of these may have some uses for Iron Men, some of them may be something you've never killed before, and you may just want to go and check it out and get one of them killed. They do have achievements attached to them as well, so that is worth keeping in mind too. And then some of them have a very expensive drop that if you ever feel like mixing it up with different bosses that you'll be killing normally, then it could be absolutely worth chasing down. I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new around here, and let's go. So to start off, we are going to talk about the good old Worldy Worm. You may know about this one, you may not, but there's probably a lot of people who know about the Worldy Worm, but don't really know much about the Worldy Worm. So we are going to talk about it, and I'm going to tell you exactly what the Worldy Worm is. So, the Worldy Worm is a lava strike worm, but it is a boss version, and it doesn't require Slayer levels to be able to fight. It is in the wilderness, and it will be marked on the map with an icon, as you can see right here on screen. Technically, the Worldy Worm can wander all over the wilderness, and it can travel to wherever the hell it wants to go to, but because it's quite big, it tends to get stuck and then end up going back, so it is usually around the actual wilderness lava strike worm area, around the lava maze and stuff. The wilderness worm has 1 million life points, and you can solo it. You don't have to be in a group or anything, but if you are in a group, the way the drops work is it depends on how many people contributed to the actual kill. You have to be, I think it's based on the most DPS basically. The higher amount of damage you do to the boss, the higher up on that list you do rank. However, this only puts you on the table for the 100% drops, which is the Searing Ashes and the Fury Sharks. After that, there is only one main drop, and that is basically going to be the other random loot, and that will be obviously for the person who did the most DPS throughout the whole thing. This person is going to get a chance at getting the items that the lava strike worms drop themselves, being the worm spike, the worm heart, and the worm scalp. These are pretty valuable, with some of them being around about 30 mil, 15 mil, and then 10 mil. So not too bad actually whatsoever, and it doesn't take that long to kill this in a group. But it does have 1 million life points, and as you can see on screen here, I somehow managed to have him in a safe spot, it seems. He wasn't attacking me in the slightest. This was by complete accident. I don't know, I just stood where I was, started out the fight. I went up here in the corner, so I didn't aggro all of the greater demons, and it seemed to be absolutely fine. He just couldn't attack me, so I just soloed it down, killed the thing off, and I believe in total I got around about 700k. It did take a little while to kill it, as it does have 1 million life points, but hey, in the wilderness now, seeing as you can bring best in slot gear, and it's no risk with anything when you actually die, people can't PK you and stuff, killing this is definitely a lot quicker than it would have been in the past if you weren't wanting to risk any big gear. The easiest way to find the Worldy Worm is with the Wilderness Sword, which will allow you to locate it. That being said, if you look on your world map, you can also see the icon, and then you can go to there and find it that way too. Once you've killed it, it won't always be on every single world. You'll have to look and see if you see a notification saying news. The Worldy Worm has just spawned in the wilderness. Then you can check if it's on the map. You can head up there, you can give it a kill, and you can see if you can roll on one of those expensive drops. Another cool bit of information is that in the past, JMods have actually been able to control the Worldy Worm and make it a lot harder to fight and cause a little bit more havoc with it than normal. But this doesn't really happen obviously anymore. It happened maybe when they released it, I guess is probably when they did it, but it is a possible thing for them to do, and whether they do it again or not, who knows. The next boss is going to be the Chaos Elemental. Most of you guys will know about the Chaos Elemental. It's not really an unknown boss, but it is a uncommonly killed boss, seeing as it's not on the boss portal, and overall it's not really got the best drops in the game, but you can get the Chaos Elemental pet, which is pretty badass, and it does have access to the Revenant drop table, which can score you a hell of a lot of money if you do get one. That being said, this boss is a free-to-play boss. You can kill it in free-to-play. I assume your drop table will be limited to the free-to-play items if you do kill it in free-to-play, or the corrupted version of the Revenant items. I think they are free-to-play. But other than that, this boss has the biggest drop table in the game. I do believe it's absolutely massive. Most of it being trash, most of it not being that good, but some of it being really good. And obviously, if you get yourself a Statius Warhammer from here, which is actually a really much improved drop rate than killing other Revenants. For example, at the Revenants, it is a total of 1 in 90,916 to get a Statius Warhammer. The Chaos Elemental, it is a nice 1 in 28,800, which is a pretty big improvement, of course, but you can kill Revs a lot quicker than you can kill a Chaos Elemental. That being said, again, because of the wilderness changes and because you can now go in here with high level gear, as you can see, you can pretty much one-shot the Chaos Elemental. There's just more downtime between this than it would be to kill Revenants. So personally, I think if you're going for Revenant items, it's probably still better to kill Revenants. But for someone who is a low level player, maybe you're wanting to kill something and get a good chance at having a good drop, you could definitely come here into the wilderness. Just be careful of the other like trash mobs that are around. They can do a lot of damage if you are a low level, and the Chaos Elemental does have a few mechanics that are a little bit annoying. For example, you're going to want to have your inventory full while fighting this thing, because if you don't, he will unequip random items from you, including your main hand and your offhand weapons. This means that when you're fighting him, he will just take off your weapons, meaning you cannot attack him. It is really frustrating. Most people use things like foods that leave things in your inventory when you're fighting them here. So you could bring brews and make sure you don't destroy vials, or you could bring like summer pies. I think is one of the most popular ones. Summer pies, so you leave the pie dish in your inventory, all that sort of good stuff, and then you would drop the pie dish to pick up your loot. I think that's what people used to do. But you can kill it so quickly now, it's probably not that big of a deal. If you, as soon as it spawns, use an Omni Power or use a Dead Shot or something like that, it's probably going to die pretty quick. The Chaos Elemental only has 17,250 life points, so you can imagine just how quickly you can actually kill this thing. To be able to find this, you are going to want to go into the deep wilderness near the Rogue's Den, and it will just be on the other side of that. You can see on the world map that I'm showing you right now where you can find him. Next up is a boss that I didn't even know was a thing, if I'm perfectly honest with you. I had no idea. I don't know if you could really call it a boss, but it is listed under the RuneScape wiki section of bosses, so I guess in some sense it must be a boss. That being said, it does have a drop table as well, and it is a pretty interesting drop table. There is one thing on there that could be quite useful, I suppose, for Iron Man players, is the only thing I could think of if you could possibly need them, and that is going to be for the Holy Elixir. The boss that we're talking about is going to be the Tormented Wraith. The Tormented Wraith is a spirit of a prisoner who was tortured and killed long ago by the Black Knights. It resides in the spirit realm and can only be accessed through the invisible portal at the center of the Dark Warrior's Fortress using Jenica's Ring. That was straight from the wiki, in case you didn't notice. I was reading that directly from there because I had no idea about this thing, and I found it quite interesting. But if you come into the middle of the Dark Warrior's Fortress using the Jenica's Ring and go directly into the middle room, and then right click the ring and press operate, you will actually transfer into the spirit realm, and then you will be able to fight the actual the Tormented Wraith. But as I noticed very quickly, you can't just attack this thing normally. You can only attack the Tormented Wraith if you are using regular or elite black armor, which means the helm, body, and legs, and you have to have a black weapon as well in both of your slots. You have to have it in the main hand and just use the main hand weapon, or if you're going to use an offhand, you have to have it in the offhand as well. So you have to kill this with black armor and black gear. That being said, it's really not strong. It's got 4,500 health. It's level 42. And I don't think I took a single bit of damage while killing this thing, so it's really not difficult to do. Obviously, it's a really simple and easy NPC to kill, but it is classified as a boss apparently, so this is very interesting. The drop table is pretty large. It has lots of herbs, and it has the full black armor with some black weapons as well, the longsword and the offhand longsword. And then other than that, the only other thing on there that is really kind of standing out to me is the spirit shields and the Holy Elixir. Now, the reason that I say this may be useful for Iron Men is that this could be an easier way to get yourself a Holy Elixir than killing the Corporal Beast. However, the Tormented Wraith doesn't actually have a confirmed drop rate for this. The Corporal Beast has a 3 in 512 chance, and the Tormented Wraith just says very rare. That being said, this is super easy to kill in comparison to the Corporal Beast, so it could be quicker. I really don't know, but you are going to want to get a Blessed Spirit Shield by using the Spirit Shield with the Holy Elixir if you are going to want to make any of the upgraded Spirit Shields like the Divine one or the Elysian one, and I think the Arcane one as well. All of those will require a Blessed Spirit Shield, which also requires a Holy Elixir. So this could be useful for Iron Men. Other than that, there's not really anything else on here that I would really suggest killing this for. It has access to the ghost drop table, being like the ghost hunter goggles, body, legs and stuff, and the ectoplasmator and all that sort of good stuff. But I think regular ghosts just have that anyway, so it's not really anything unique and special. So, did you know about this boss? I had no idea this was a thing. I really am surprised by it, but I thought it was pretty cool. I'm glad that I learned about it. It's interesting. The next boss in quotation marks is going to be Drageth Nern. Drageth Nern, I may have pronounced his name wrong, let's be honest, it could happen. He's the necromancer that lives in the catacombs of Lumbridge. You can go into there, you can kill him at the bottom, you have to travel all the way to the end, down the stairs, all the way through the paths and stuff, right to the end, and he will be there at the end of that tunnel. Now, he is level 26, he has 950 life points, and he doesn't really have anything that you want to kill him for, other than getting the Mask of Drageth Nern. The Mask is an achievement that you would need to get for the Master Quest Cape. It is an achievement that you need for that, and it does have the same stats as an Iron Full Helm. Looks pretty cool. It could probably be used as cosmetic. I suppose you could use it as that. But other than that, there's not really anything else you want to kill him for. His drops are pretty average. It's a free-to-play boss, so there's nothing really special from here. I guess you could get maybe some unique items, like an easy way to get a holy symbol, maybe, as an Iron Man, possibly. You can get a charge bow from here as well. It's not anything incredibly exciting, but this boss is definitely one that I didn't even really think about or know was classed as a boss or even existed for that matter, and seeing as it is under the boss section on the RuneScape wiki, I thought it was quite interesting and we'd talk about it. If you want to get yourself the Mask, you could head down there, kill him, be careful, make sure you go in like cripple him or something. It's pretty damn difficult with his 950 health, but good luck, I guess. And hopefully, if you didn't know about this one, let me know in the comments as well, as he was part of the Blood Pact quest line, so you do see him there. I just didn't even take into account that you could kill him as a boss. There you go. Finally, we are going to talk about the Abomination. Many of you guys have probably heard of the Abomination, but I know quite a lot of people haven't, as I recently got a comped player to actually go and kill this for the clip that you're watching right now. Salty Llama, thank you very much. He had no idea what the hell this thing was. He obviously did the quest for it, but he completely forgot about it when he did it. This boss has been out since 2015, so you could have done it a long time ago. But again, this boss is not on the Wars portal, and so it is not one of the most common bosses in the game. That being said, this boss could make you incredibly rich. It really, really could. There is a cape that is dropped from this boss, and it is worth a hell of a lot of money. The Abomination cape is currently selling for around about 1.6 billion GP on the last price check, though this was a long time ago, the last time this thing was traded and recorded on the SutiBot Discord, so it could be different from that now. You will have to just kind of go with the flow if you do get one. But 1.6 billion GP is a hell of a lot of money if you get one of these capes from here, which is a 1 in 11,570 drop rate. You are going to be making a lot of money. It's super rare, of course. This boss dies incredibly quick, though, as you can see. Even the terriblest of PVM warriors, such as myself, not Salty, of course, can kill this very quickly. And so you could get through those kills pretty damn quick. That being said, you do have to have some requirements to be able to kill this boss. The Abomination is from the final boss of the Hero's Welcome quest, and you have to have completed that to be able to go in and fight him again. Once you've done that quest, you can go in. He will start in phase 2, which is why he starts at 66,000 life points rather than the 198,000 that he has normally, and then you can just kill him off from there. That is pretty much it. That is all that you would want to get. He will always drop a Dragon Javelin and offhand Dragon Javelins if they are any use to you whatsoever. Other than that, though, he does have a pretty interesting drop table, which I will put on the screen for you right now. He has the best drop rate for a Dragon Full Helm, so that's pretty damn interesting, and he also has access to a Draconic Visage as well. Anyway, if you find this interesting, then maybe this is a boss you could go and farm just for something to mix it up with. You could get really lucky. You could get a fortune from killing this boss. So I guess if you're just bored of other bosses, this is probably one of them on this list that is worth going to and killing just for something to mix it up a little bit. It's like the Giant Mimic. You could go and you can kill that to try and get the cape. Except this is super damn easy to kill, almost insta-kill probably every single time. And hey, it's got a chance at a 1.6 bill cape going off the last price check. But I'm interested in finding out, has anybody watching this video got one of these capes as a drop before? Let me know in the comments. I am very interested, and if you have, then holy hell, that is incredibly lucky. I would like to know the kill count that you got that at as well, if you do actually know, or how long it took you, for example. And that there is our last boss for this video. That brings us to the end, as I said, and while I leave you with Salty's amazing PVMing on the outro, he is gonna kill me for this. I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, then do leave a like on it as well. It will help out the video a lot in the algorithm. Do subscribe to the channel if you are new around here and you enjoyed this video. I do post most days, mostly every single day if I can. If not, then usually I'll only miss 1 or 2 days. But let me know what you think about this video in the comments, guys. Do you think you'll go and try any of these bosses? Have you ever killed the Wildy Worm before? Did you know about the Tormented Wraith? Or did you even know about the Abomination boss? If you had a drop at the Abomination boss before, have you had the cape? Do you maybe wear the cape as a daily thing? Let me know in the comments. I am always very interested in hearing from you guys. But other than that, channel members, thank you so much for your extra support. Your names will be on screen as they always are. It is very much appreciated, the extra support you guys provide. If anyone wants to join the channel members and support me as the creator of making as much content as I can for you guys, then that is a great way to do it. Click the join button next to the subscribe button. You do get some perks, and it does help out a hell of a lot. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I will catch you all in the next one. See you later, guys. Bye.